Hello, boys and girls. I am so glad to be here to have a story to tell you. I hope you're ready. Listening Lamb is ready. This is a story that my grandpa used to tell, and it's named Bricket Leg. This is about a young boy and his mother. They were so poor. They lived in a kingdom, though, where the king loved magic tricks. And one day, the king announced a magic pageant. Anybody could participate if that wanted to. And if had the best magic trick, he could have half the kingdom and his daughter in marriage. The boy told his mother he wanted to participate in the pageant. He couldn't think of any tricks, but he hoped he could think of one on the way to the palace. It was a long way from where the little boy lived, and the only way he could travel was to walk. To help him prepare for the journey, his loving mother took a little bit of flour, which was actually the last bit of food they had in the house, and she made it into biscuits. Then she gave him a jar of water, and that was all he had to eat on his journey. He kissed his mother goodbye. He took lunch and started off to the palace. After he'd walked a long way, he started to get thirsty. And then he thought, I'm going to walk a few more miles, then I'll sit down and eat the biscuits and get a drink. But by the time he stopped to rest, he was very hungry and thirsty. He put his little lunch out before him, and just as about he was ready to eat, a little man popped out from the bushes. He just seemed to appear. Oh, young man, I'm so tired, so thirsty and hungry. Could I please have a little bit of your lunch? The hungry boy looked at him kindly and said, Well, yes, you may have half. You look as hungry and thirsty as I am. So the little man sat down and seized all the biscuits and ate every one. Now the biscuits made him thirsty, so he drank all the water, every last drop. The young boy just stared at him. He didn't know what to do. He told the little man, he was willing to share, but he didn't think he would eat the whole lunch. The little man replied, Listen, you have been so kind to me. I have a present for you. He took from his pocket a little bottle, just like this. You're listening, Lamb. And it's magic. The boy looked at him. What? A bottle that I can't eat or drink? Little man said, Wait just a minute. It's not just any bottle. Look what it will do. He took the lid off and shouted, Out, Bricket Leg! Immediately, little tiny man jumped out with a big banquet table and spread it with food, all kinds of good food to eat and drink. The table almost sagged with the food. The little man invited the boy to sit down and eat all he desired. So the boy ate and ate and ate. He had never had such wonderful food. He enjoyed himself very much. When he was through, the little man said, Now all you have to say is, Back, Bricket Leg, and they'll jump back in the bottle. So the boy followed instructions. The little man grabbed the table, jumped back into the bottle, and took everything with him, cleaned up completely. Now this is for you, said the little man, for being so kind. And he gave him the bottle. The boy smiled and thanked him and went on his way. He still had a long way to travel. So he got to the palace about nighttime. The magic contest was just coming to an end. Everyone had had a good trick, their best, and tried to please the king, but so far, no one had come near amazing that king. When it was the young boy's turn, everybody was tired and hungry. So he pulled out the bottle, he took the lid off, and said, Out, Bricket Leg! And the little man jumped out and spread a feast. And the boy said, Come and eat, there's enough for everybody. Well, the crowd sat down and they ate, and they ate, and ate, and everyone could eat till they were full. There was still food remaining. When everyone was satisfied, the boy said, Back, Bricket Leg. and the little man jumped back into the bottle, took the table and all the food. Of course, everyone was totally amazed. The king himself was impressed. But he was a very crafty, sneaky king. So he said, I don't believe you performed that trick, but tomorrow I want you to try it again. Of course, the boy said, I will do that. And then the king invited him to stay overnight in the castle. The king took him to a little room and treated him very well. The boy put the bottle beside him on the bed and was happy when he finally went to sleep. Well, as I said, this king was very crafty. That means sneaky. He waited until the boy was fast asleep and crept back quietly into the room and switched bottles. He left one there that looked just like the other one and took the magic one. The king waited until the boy was fast asleep. He traded bottles and he went back to his king's room. The next morning, the king said, okay, let's see this great so-called magic trick of yours again. I can't believe you have true magic powers. But if you can repeat what you did last night, it must be real. So the boy took the bottle and said, out, Bricket Leg. But nothing happened. And he tried again. Out, Bricket Leg, louder. Still nothing happened. When he tried a third time, the king said, imposter, fool, get out of here. Oh, the boy left very sadly. There was nothing to do but to return home and tell his mother what happened. The journey home was even harder, for he had nothing to eat or drink. He walked until he could walk no more, and happened to sit down exactly in the same place where he had met the little man. He decided he would sleep a little while, and just as he was dozing off, that same little man jumped out from behind the bushes because he wanted to hear what had happened. But he was very mad to hear how the king had treated the boy. Well, I have another bottle for you, but this is a different kind of bottle. So the little boy grabbed the bottle and said, out, Bricket Leg. He was so excited, but this time the little men jumped on him. They grabbed his face, they pulled his hair, they pinched him, they beat him up as hard as they could. The boy was so surprised, he forgot what the words were to call them off. So the man said, back, Bricket Leg, and the little men all jumped back in the bottle and disappeared. And the little men recorked the bottle and said, take this bottle back to the king. Of course, the boy could hardly wait to get back and show the king the new bottle. Again, he arrived at the palace just at evening time. The king, being a greedy fellow, ushered the boy right into the place where he was the day before and said, you must be very tired. Go to bed. Don't show me the trick until morning. So the boy went in and he put that second bottle right by his bed. When the king thought the boy was asleep, he crept silently into the room and he switched bottles again. Well, as he was creeping out, he could not wait to see what this other bottle would do. He uncorked it, popped the lid, and said, out, Bricket Leg. And two tiny men jumped out. They pinched his face, they pulled his arm, they pulled his beard and scratched him. The king was so confused and upset, he forgot the words. He was making such a racket that all the guards rushed into the room in amazement, and the king begged the boy to get the little men off him. The boy said, do you promise to give me half your kingdom? Yes, anything, just get them off. The boy said, and you will return the other bottle to me, and I can marry the princess. The king was in great pain, and he said, yes, anything. So the boy said, back, Bricket Leg, and the tiny little men stopped their attack, jumped back into the bottle, and disappeared, and the boy shut the bottle. Now, of course, the king had to live up to his word. All the guards heard. So he gave the boy all he promised, included his daughter in marriage. The boy sent for his mother, and they all lived together happily in the palace.